Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, instead of trying to be something y'all ain't. Ain't bang them books, ain't bang them trying to be something y'all ain't. Trying to
Peace. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the platform. Day and night publications on the platforms, More Yeshaya History Lessons and More Yeshaya History Lessons 2. I do not claim to know everything, and as put inside the description, I am not a physician or a psychiatrist. Nonetheless, brothers and sisters, after having watched certain things online, experienced certain things, hear other people talk about certain things, I wanted to offer to the people my understandings of matters, while, as the Bible says, lean not to your own understanding. So what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, is talk about a matter of how a child can be hurt. And no disrespect intended with the terminologies. The matter of selfishness that some adults have, male and female alike. Now, some time ago, I spoke on a presentation saying that it is unwise for people to yell at children. And some people agreed with me, some people disagreed with me. But brothers and sisters, regardless of whether one agreed or not, it is still unhealthy to yell. And I've been guilty of it. I've been yelled at as a child, and having a child, I've yelled at mine. Brothers and sisters, some people, when I spoke upon that, were saying, oh, you're a coward, you're a wimp. No, what it is I don't want to get hoarse. What it is I don't want to run up my blood pressure. Do we not see the commercials on YouTube and other platforms that sit there and talk about blood pressure, get your medicine? All the people who support somebody else running up their blood pressure, yelling at children, they're not going to be there. It's your children that you yelled at that's going to be dealing with the medical matters, not the person coaching you online. So we must sit there and have to use wisdom and understanding. Now, I intend to not to get sidetracked from this matter here called Not My Father, How a Child is Hurt. There is a person on video going around, a lady, not to be sexist. Oh, y'all guys got to get these ladies in check. And she speaks upon hitting women, like laying hands on them, so to speak. Not in hugging, not even in just putting hands on the shoulders, saying, lady, calm down. Not even in that manner, but rather in a form you may say of smacking or things of that kind of nature. I want to say to the brothers out there, I want to say to the men out there, just because the person is talking to your hurt, just because the person is talking to what affected you negatively, doesn't mean everything that that person says is wise. Because just like the people will not be there after encouraging you to yell at children when your blood pressure is up, so will that lady telling you to lay hands and smack women to, quote, get them in place. Is not going to be there with the commissary when you upstate in New York, when you're in Oklahoma in one of those prisons, when you're in California in one of those prisons, when you in the state of Georgia, that people in the South even say, you don't want to bleep with Georgia, them Georgia prisons are no joke. Where is the people, or where will be the people who told you to do DV or domestic violence in that particular case? So just because, again, we have to use wisdom and discernment, just because somebody talks to your hurt, just because somebody speaks to something that you can relate to, doesn't mean that their advice, though they can recognize a situation to speak upon it that you can relate to, their advice is not always the best. I remember recently, it was a video that was saying, or the person in the video was saying, you don't have to necessarily catch them in bed. You can just see how they are around their phone. If they tilt their phone, if they're looking at their phone and they're smiling, that means they're cheating. No, it doesn't. not to get too personal, I remember communicating with somebody by usage of the phone and smiling. And I was accused of, oh, you must be cheating. No, I was not. Why won't you ask somebody what he or she is doing before you bring up that kind of energy? And I told that person online, I said, what hurts me in part is that somebody as precious as my little daughter can sit there and perhaps listen to you and think that because you're an older lady, that you must know what you're talking about, and then bring your misunderstandings to the person she's going to be married to this summer. And now they got a quarrel and everything like that. But let's point this out, as pointed out last week in the presentation. If people are going to quote unquote cheat, if they're going to be living like that, no woman can stop a man from doing it. No man can stop a woman from doing it. That is the action of that man or woman. So cheating, disrespecting your union, your relationship, did not start with your phone. Cell phones have become popular in the past 30 years. There are people walking this earth today that are the product of adultery, that are the product of people cheating, that are over the age of 30. So in light of that, let's not blame the text message. Let's not blame the WhatsApp. Let's not blame Messenger. Let's not blame TikTok. Let's not blame Instagram. It's you, whoever's guilty of such. You understand? So these are things to be pointed out for reference purposes. What can we say about a person being hurt? In this regard, in this video, we'll be talking about a mother speaking to her child about the guy whom she's with. But before we do so, let's pull up the PowerPoint, if we will, and let's see again what we can ascertain in this, if we will. Thank you for that, family. All right. I'm going to do it like this, if we will. And we're going to start slideshow from the current slide. You are not my father. We are told in the Bible, honor your father and your mother. We are also told concerning the Sabbath, that they who are to rest are you, your son, daughter, workers, and animals. This shows biblically that family is a theme. In Hebrew, for instance, mishpachah, the word for family can be derived from the word meaning servant. So in other words, they who do a service to one another is family. Family serves one another. So in this premise, So in this presentation, I stand corrected, we care to address what the young man said and what response he was given. Now, brothers and sisters, as I stated, I am not a physician or a psychiatrist. But let us see what this video entails and discuss it. Thank you for that.
You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is not my father. He needs to stop acting like he is.
This man raised you when your biological dad called you a mistake. He put you to bed while your father abandoned you. Talk to him like that again and I'll disown you. You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is not my father. He needs to stop acting like he is.
This man raised you when your biological dad called you a mistake. He put you to bed while your father abandoned you. Talk to him like that again and I'll disown you.
Now, where is the logic in that? Maybe the young man in there is speaking from his heart. And what some stepfathers and what some mothers' boyfriends, or no disrespect intended to anyone as a man, what some women simps may not understand. And I want to emphasize, I'm not saying a stepfather is a simp. A simp meaning a simpleton or a fool or a person that's a pushover. I'm not saying that is equated to a stepfather. I'm not saying a stepfather is equated to that. What I am saying, brothers and sisters, is this. When a son tells his mom, this man is not my father, he needs to stop acting like he is. That is from the heart. He's not saying he's not a man. He's not an adult. He's not a nice person. He's not a considerate person. He's not a good boyfriend to his mom. He's not a good husband to his mom. He didn't say in that 14-second video anything like that. He's saying this man is not my dad. He needs to stop acting like he is. So what does the mother say in defense of the man who did, according to her, help tuck him in and helped him out when he was younger? Is if you say that, I, the mother, will disown you. So what wisdom can we ascertain from that? According to her, the father, biological, essentially disowned the child. And if you don't accept who I like and love in my life and say the truth, which is that he's not my father, and he's not, you, my biological mom, are going to disown me if I don't accept whom you are with. Perhaps a reasoning matter would be know the man, sisters, whom you're sleeping and making babies with. There was a meme going around some time ago that had a picture of a person on it saying, you didn't realize he was an idiot, so after he got you pregnant. When I watched the movie Crooklyn years ago, correct me if I'm wrong about what I'm saying about it, she had 2 or 3 children and then decided, oh, this is not the right man for me. How many times does a woman allow herself to be impregnated by a male before she realizes he's not a good man much for her, and or maybe not a good father to the children? Do you think he'll change because you had his baby? No. We read parts of the Bible or spoke about parts of the Bible earlier, and this is no disrespect intended. In the Bible, Leah, in the book of Genesis, was not treated the same way as the woman Jacob loved named Rachel. Having a baby for a man, from a man, is not going to get him to have his heart towards you, sisters. Men, tucking another man's son or daughter in bed, buying them toys, being respectful to his or her mom, is not going to get you the respect of being seen and called as dad. You will be the beautiful step parent. Blood does not diminish because you're paying a bill that you would have had to pay even if you had no marriage, thus no stepchildren in this society. There are some men who, no disrespect, knocking on the video, who go and deal with another man's children to avoid dealing with his own for whatever reason. I was told of a situation where, oh, the guy just up and left, got with some other lady and helping her with her children. That's her side of the story. His side of the story may be that and more. And then the truth might be even that and less or more, because we may think to say there are 3 sides to a story: her side, his side, and the true side, which is either could be embellished or ignored. So, in light of all of that, you're telling your child after you had him with a man that the biological father was not a good man, essentially. So now for her, it's different than it is for the son or the child. That is that man's seed. That is that man's flesh and blood. You are the mother of his child. You are not his flesh and blood in that manner. So the spirit that the child has is different than yours. So now, for instance, when you watch the movie, for what it is worth, A Family That Prays, and the mother in it is telling, quote unquote, Andrea Sanaa Lathan in the movie, you don't know what happened between me and your father, and you need to get over it. Question: how can you get over something you know nothing about? What you mean to say is, I messed up. I'm not going to tell you where I messed up. And your father just walked out, and then that's that. No, that's some half behind story in that particular case. And when things come out and be known later, it's like, oh, that's the situation. So when you see on TikTok, Instagram, Messenger, Facebook, YouTube, the men that are sometimes deemed sassy by women, is because with the internet and social media these days, men are able to speak a truth, their truth, whether it's pleasant or not, whether it's happy or not. See, the whole shut the bleep up N-word doesn't work when a man has his own stream in order to get a point across. He can use his own time for such. I don't want to hear nothing from that woman. Doesn't work when she can sit there and use social media, if you want to get a point across. The control mechanisms that men and women have used against men and women do not work when you have your own. When you have your own standard. I would like to ask the people this, if you care to give me your understanding if I'm going way off the deep end. I believe there is a difference between boundaries and standards. Boundaries, correct me if I'm wrong, is something that you're binded to, that you're bound to, something that is constraining, even if it's not a bad thing ultimately. You may be constrained or not allowed to walk into the manhole. That's a boundary. So boundaries, I'm not saying are bad all the way. But what happened to standards? What happened to things that you can stand on and say this is the principle of the matter? Not I just stand away from all matters. Not I don't walk around the manhole. Because I have the boundary of the manhole, I can have a standard for safety purposes to still make progress and walk around it. But if you have boundaries, like I can't move beyond this point, I'm near, like the horse tied to the chair, not realizing all they got to do is move and the chair will move, you're bounded. Whereas a standard could be understood as I must get to that other side. So I'm going to walk around the manhole so I can get there safely. Whatever happens to that? Why do we as a people promote boundaries more so than standards? Control mechanisms, perhaps. But we're going to play this video again and discuss it a little furthermore and close out.
You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is not my father. He needs to stop acting like he is.
This man raised you when your biological dad called you a mistake. He put you to bed while your father abandoned you. Talk to him like that again and I'll disown you.
Now, no knocking and part of what the mother said. Your father said you was a mistake. Was that to tear into the son's spirit to make him feel, I must accept your man? Oh my gosh, my father was such a horrible person. And what is a son to think of his mother allowing herself to be with a person and pardon, he didn't stop the sexual act before he ejaculated inside of her? What is he supposed to think of her? I wanted you, but your father didn't. So did you manipulate my dad to have me for you? Was my dad one of the options and this guy who came along later was another option? See, when you're talking, you have to realize people may see more than what you're saying. So you may want to dumb it down. No disrespect in trying to say anybody's a dummy, but you can't do that because you know what you said, and we want to point something out in particular when listening with a keen ear, not your third eye, but a keen ear.
You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is.
Did you just say he's not your father? Yes, I did. I said that. This man is not my father, and he needs to stop acting like he is. That son is making a plea, if we want to put it in terms like that. He is in his way crying out. And let's see, as we continue in this.
You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is not my father. He needs to stop acting like he is.
This man raised you when your biological dad called you a mistake. He put you to bed while your father abandoned you. Talk to him like that.
We have to ask this. When he abandoned you, were you still around when I was abandoned? Where were you in my dad's life? Did my father just up and leave and that's that? No. Because your solution, lady, is talk to him like that, not lie, not make up stuff in your head, but talk to him like that. She could not even say her son was making up things or being in his feelings or being emotional or being extra. Talk to him like that is the only defense she can say, and then let's see her particular action after that.
You just say he's not your father? How dare you?
This man is not my father. He needs to stop acting like he is.
This man raised you when your biological dad called you a mistake. He put you to bed while your father abandoned you. Talk to him like that again and I'll disown you.
Bye. Because eventually, if we're citing the Bible, and it says a man shall leave his father and his mother, cleave to his wife and be one flesh. When you find women today, not to be sounding like I'm a physician or a psychiatrist, these men are so hurt. They got mommy issues. That is part of some of what could cause a mommy issue in a man, in a male. You are telling one that if you don't accept this fake father, because your real father and I essentially didn't work. He said you was a mistake. So you gave yourself to a man because you wasn't SA'd, according to that, to a person who didn't want to have a baby. So you just had vicarious sex as a mother or as a woman who became a mother by having vicarious sex. And now the person who comes along later must be seen as dad or father. Stop playing men like pairs of shoes and pairs of sneakers and checkers and so forth. Stop saying this piece is for this and this is for that. And if you don't accept what I'm about, then according to the person, the individual, if you say that again, I'm going to disown you. If you say something that may not sound nice to me, but I cannot say it is a lie. I can't say that you're making it up. I can't say I can never understand your feelings about this. I cannot say that you're dealing falsely. Then I'm going to disown you. At the end of the day, it's because you do not want to be reminded of what part you played and had in it, what part you was involved in. So according to that, the father was a deadbeat, for the lack of a better term, and you're going to be the deadbeat mom by hearing something that you can't say is a lie, but it's something you don't want to hear. So you pick and choose what you care to hear. What do we call that? Narcissist. Could care less about the matters of others. A sociopath. You're dealing socially, but don't care who you hurt. It doesn't matter to you. So now, looking at that, for instance, and then seeing, oh, some people grow up with mommy issues, or some people have parent issues, because according to her, as we close out, the father wasn't there, and he doesn't see this person as a replacement. You see him maybe as a replacement for a man in your life, lady, but you're not the flesh and blood of the person that you made the child with. Say it again, and I'll disown you. And when sons are okay saying, bye, mom, understand why. Take care.